This message is a message for and about those people who always see the best in others. Always seeing the best in others is either a projection of your own greatness onto others, or instantly seeing or connecting with their higher self, or a combination of those, depending on who and what you are. Now, your higher self is the best version of your human self. It's the best version of your being from this lifetime and any other lifetimes that you've had. If you have a tendency to see the best in others, it's very, 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 very important that you understand that, yes, their higher self exists within them, but their higher self might not be the actual version of them that's in front of you at that moment. So understand that you're dealing with a wounded human being. Everybody on earth has wounds. And that wounded human being is either healed, healing, whatever, healed or healing, or unhealed. And I use those terms loosely because healing is a journey. You either start it or you don't. So be mindful of that. Just because you have the ability, the gift, I will call it a gift because it is a gift, to see the best version of another person doesn't mean that's who is actually in front of you at that time. Moving on. Now, many people will label always seeing the best in others as naive. So I wanted to dive into the definition of naive because it has multiple definitions. The first one, the definition is showing a lack of experience, wisdom, or judgment. The next definition of naive is natural and unaffected. In other words, innocent. So natural and unaffected. In other words, innocent. So sit with those definitions. Most people think of children as being naive. Maybe because they don't really understand the concept of stranger danger. They literally love everybody and they think everybody is their friend, right? So think about this. When children come into this world, they are innocent. Their natural state of being aligns with where they come from. They see the best in everyone because they are unaffected by the darkness and density of earth. Where they come from, the frequency and vibration is much higher. So all this heaviness and hatefulness is foreign to them. All right, so let's think about adults who exhibit the same childlike energy. Now, the difference with adults is that they have experienced the darkness and the density and the heaviness and the hatefulness of this earth for quite some time. Those who continue to see the best in others despite what they've experienced are what? Unaffected by the darkness and density, heaviness, and hatefulness. Why? Because their natural state of being is love. Their natural state of being is innocence, the same as children. Now, there are some adults who resonate with or revert back to the frequency and vibration of where they come from and a lot quicker And there are some who, don't. But for those who do tend to always see the best in others, understand that while others may label you or view you as naive, it's from such a quote unquote 3D perspective. It's from a very simple perspective. But you are far more complex, and the way and the reasons that you are the way you are very intricate and nuanced. So many people might use the term naive as derogatory. They think of being naive or naivety as weak. First and foremost, who cares what anybody thinks? To be very, very honest. Second and foremost, those people that you may encounter with that childlike energy are literally like walking karma. And when I say childlike energy, I'm talking about the openness to love and seeing the light in others. Now, you get a chance to experience that, and you decide how you react and how you treat that person. And however you choose to react and however you choose to treat that person is your karma. Now, some people, I mentioned how some people revert back to their natural state of being a lot easier and quicker, and some don't. And honestly, that has a lot to do with resilience. It has a lot to do with one's resilience. And it's funny because when I was writing this, I heard takes a licking and keeps on ticking. So it's like those people who are able to revert back to that natural state of being quicker is probably because they've been here and done this many, 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 many times. Okay? So be mindful of that. Now, third and foremost, labeling others, the people that always see the best in others as naive, or labeling always seeing the best in others as naivety, and labeling naivety as weakness. I'm going to whip out my Bible scriptures. Yes, I am. 2 Corinthians 12, verses 9 and 10. The Amplified version. I always use the Amplified version because I like to have things very thoroughly explained. 1 Corinthians 1, verses 26 and 27. Psalms 116, verse 6. So those are 3 verses that generally have to deal with foolishness, because fools, naive, those who are naive are often labeled as fools, weakness, things of that nature. So check out those verses. I may or may not put them on this video. I don't know. It just depends. I'm not gonna read them though, that's for sure. Moving right along. Love, optimism, hope, empathy, and the like are not weaknesses. To human standards, they might be. But these traits are God's fuel. They're God's strength. And God's strength is true strength. True weakness, on the other hand, is the opposite of love and empathy and optimism and hope. But the best part about being in that type of weakness, where you look at love, empathy, optimism, and hope as weakness, the best part of being in that type of weakness is that God's strength and love waits for you there too.